So this is going to be our first question of array that we just have to find out the maximum element in array. Let's say there is this array given to you, and now you have to find out the mix element. So the output will be 56. That is the mix element of array. So let's create a file mix element. In this, we need a function static void mix, and we are going to pass an array. So first try to understand the approach, what approach we should follow to find out the mix element from the array. The first approach that we are going to try is naive approach. Now, what is the naive approach? Naive approach simply means that I will, let's say if I have an array, if we have this array, 2, 4, 7, 3, 6. Okay, suppose if this is the array given to you and you have to find out the mix element of the array. So you will pick first element, that is 2, and start comparing 2 with rest of the elements. Okay, so if none of the element is greater than 2, so you can say 2 is the mix element. Then you will choose 4 and start comparing 4 with next elements. But again, you can check if 4 is not mix, then you have to again do the comparison. So it means we have to use to loop. The first approach that we are trying, in that we have to use to loop, because I have to pick one element and compare with rest of the element. Then I have to pick second element, compare with rest of the element. So this is what we have to do, and in order to do comparison, we have to iterate, we have to use nested loops. All right, so first we are going to talk about the simple naive approach, because when you start to build a naive approach, then you can think of a better solution, optimized solution, that I don't have to do something like this. Okay, so after that, we'll be talking about what would be the time complexity of our program if we have this particular scenario. So what we'll be doing is we will use a for loop I equals to 0, I less than n. Now what is n? N will be the length of your array. So you can take a variable array dot length, and we need one more variable that will be a flag is max. Now once you check in an array that a particular element is compared with rest of the element, and we are not able to find any element greater than the current element, so we can say it's a maximum element. So after this, we'll initialize is max with true. So I'm going to consider that the current element is the maximum element. Now let us start comparing the current element with rest of the element. So j less than n, j plus plus, and simply write if array of j is greater than array of I, and then is max will become false. It means we have found a greater element than current element. Simple enough. So if you found a greater element than the current element, so we will set is max to false. Now, once the for loop is completed, the nested for loop, the jth loop is completed, we will check if is max is true or not. If is max is true, it means you have found the max element. So how it will return you the maximum element? Because if my is max variable will be true, it means because I am considering that each the current element is maximum element. Okay, so simply consider the current ith element as max element. All right, so I'm simply going to consider if the current ith element is the maximum element. So I have written is max is equals to true. Now I have a for loop over here, and now I'm going to check if array of j is greater than array of I. So I will say that if I found a greater element than the current element, so simply say is max is equals to false. It means it's not a current, it's not the maximum element. And then finally return. And you can even break the jth loop. All right, so this is the naive approach. This is the naive solution to find out the mix element. Okay, so if you want to understand working of it, so just imagine this thing. If this is the array given, the ith element will be 2. So I'm going to check if 4 is greater than 2. According to this, I am going to check 4 is greater than 2. It will say yes. So its max becomes false. So it means 2 is not greater. 2 is not the maximum one. Then I have 4. So I will check 4 is greater than 2. Yes. Then I will check 4 is greater than 4. Yes, kind of. 4 is greater than 7. No. So it means 7 is greater than 4. So it becomes true, is max become false. So it will break the loop again. Now it will check for 7. So it will check 7 is greater than 2. Yes. 7 is greater than 4. Yes. 7 is greater than 7. Yes. 7 is greater than 3. 7 is greater than 6. So 7 is greater than among all the elements. So this time, if will not work, is max will remain true, and at the end it will print that this is the maximum element of your array. So in order to find out the max element of array, this is our naive approach. The next question is to find out second max element from the array. So now we have to find out second max element. So this time output will be 25. So this is the question that we have to do after finding out max element. So let us talk about the first naive approach, what it could be. So now we know how to find out the max element from the array. All right. So once we know that we can find out the max element from the array, so let us keep two variable. One is for max and another one is for the second max. Now, once you find out the max element, make sure to keep update the second max variable accordingly. So let's say let's create a second max dot java. Okay, so first of all, what you can do is you can directly copy the logic of max. Okay, first of all, simply copy the logic from max. So this was the logic of max. So we considered the first element as the max element. Now we need another variable, and I'm going to consider it as second max. I will take a variable second max, and now the second max is initially also array of 0. All right, so max and second max both I have considered as the zeroth element, array 0 element. All right. Now finally, what you have in max variable is the max element. Now I will start iterating over this, and now I will simply check if array of I is not equals to max, then it means it is second max. So for int I equals to 1, I less than n, I plus plus, and again rewrite the logic of finding out the max. But make sure it should not be equal to max. So first of all, it should not be equal to max. If it is not equal to max, then check for second max like this, and then update second max with array of I. Simple enough. And now it's completed. Now you have the second max element with you. So what exactly we did in this program, first of all, what we have one array which contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this kind of data. Now, according to this logic, what you will get in your max variable at the end? 5. Now we have to find out the second max. So it will start iterating over this, that if array of I is not equals to max, so it will start with 1. 1 is not equals to 5. True. So 1 is greater than 1. No, actually it's not. So it will then go to second element. 2 is not equals to 5, and what exactly we have in my second max variable? In my second max variable, I still have 1. So 2 is greater than 1. Yes. So now the second max becomes 2. Next iteration, then comes 3. So 3 is not equals to 5. True. 3 is greater than 2. That is also true. So second max becomes 3. Now comes the next element, that is 4. 4 is not equals to 5. True. 4 is greater than 3. So second max will become 4. Now comes the 5. If array of I is not equals to 5, no, false. So it means at the end you get 4 as the second max element. So this is how we have find out the second max element. So this was the first approach to find out the second max element. Now we will think of a better approach to find out the second max element. There could be another approach where we don't have to write loop two times. So we'll figure it out that instead of writing loops two times, the time complexity would be often the next approach we'll be writing that will also take time often. But what I want, I don't want to use two loops. I just want to use one single loop and then try to find out the max element. See, just combine these two loops. That's it. If I copy this code, just copy this code and name it as second max and name this as second max 2. So now instead of using a for loop like this, remove this, remove this. Okay, now you need a second max variable. Let's put -1 initially in second max. The only change that you have to do is to maintain second max variable. So before updating max variable, don't forget to update the second max as well. Now, when you update max variable, before updating max variable, you store the value of max in second max. Now array of I is not equals to max, array of I is greater than second max equals to array of I. Everything will remain same as it is. So we just did only one change, that second max equals to max. So what it means, what exactly we are doing, we are storing the second maximum value. So whenever you are going to update the array, so at the end array, max variable will contain the maximum value, but second max will contain the second max value. And let me explain it once. So suppose you have this array like this. Okay, so we have this particular array available. Now we'll start with max contains 2. Second max contain -1. So we check array I is greater than max. So 4 is greater than 2. Yes. So the max becomes 4. But before updating max, we update the second max variable that stored the 2. All right. Now comes this if condition. If array of I is not equals to max, but in this case, this will not work because we have updated the max variable because array of I is equals to max. Now comes 7. 7 is greater than 4. Yes. So second max will contain 4 and max will contain 7. Then check if array of I is not equals to max. Nope. Then comes 5. 5 is greater than 7. No. So it will check if array of I is not equals to max. Yes. 5 is not equals to 7. 5 is greater than 4. Yes. 5 is greater than 4. Now second max become 5. Then comes 3. 3 greater than 7. No. Then array of I is not equals to max. Yes. Array of I greater than second max. No. So it means finally the second max is 5. So this is another way to find out the second max element of the array without using two for loops. So using one single for loop, we can find out this output.